I want to thank Mike Gallagher for once again giving me the opportunity to do so. Also, Eric Hansen in my ear. Derek Klingel is out there. Tracy, I know you're out there. Yuri is out there. And I know Lou and Gabe has got my back right here in the Orlando studio. So I just want to give a shout of thanks to all of these people that make shows like this happen. God bless them. And God bless all of you. The number to call into the program, 1-800-655-MIKE. Again, that number is 1-800-655-MIKE. You know, guys, I've been sitting here and I've been over the weekend. I was like, what, man, where do I want to go with this program? Obviously, this is Thanksgiving week. I hope that you have a lot to be thankful for. I'm thankful for so much. I'm thankful. I'm thankful that I'm an American. I'm thankful that I'm free. I'm thankful that God has radically changed my life and given me a new hope and a new life. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for so many things. There are so many things to be thankful for. And I hope that you will enjoy your Thanksgiving holiday, and I hope you're looking forward to it. But I started thinking, what's the most important thing to talk about? And obviously, there's big stories in the news, and we'll get to many of those stories. Obviously, you just heard the audio clip of this Jack Smith, this new special prosecutor that is being appointed by the corrupt attorney or the corrupt attorney general Merrick Garland. We'll get into that in the third hour, but I think there's something that I have to address. There's three battles that I want to address today. I want to address the ballot battle. I want to address the culture battle. And I want to address the free speech battle. And I think the free speech battle, that's where this new special prosecutor comes into play. We all know that this is another witch hunt to do everything they can, the left, to destroy former President Donald Trump. But I want you to understand that as Republicans, let me say this. And I want to be emphatically clear. And I really had to check my own gut, as I know more conservatives were moving this way. And I wanted to make sure that I wasn't being swayed, but I thought it was the right thing to do in order to save this country. Guys, if we're going to save this country, we have to adapt ballot harvesting. I never thought I would have said that. If you would have asked me this 2 weeks ago, I'll be honest with you, just 2 weeks ago, I wouldn't have said it. Let me share a story with you, and then I'm going to give you some stats, and I want to talk about what's happening in Arizona. I want to bring that back to the forefront of your minds, because I don't want to let this go, and I don't want you to let this go. I am now convinced. As a matter of fact, I did a short podcast on it this morning. Please subscribe to my podcast, SalemPodcastNetwork.com or thecarljacksonshow.com. I did a quick but jam-packed podcast on this very topic this morning. But I am convinced of this, that if we're going to save America, we're going to have to ballot harvest. I would have never thought I would have said that. Literally, just 2 weeks ago. Just 2 weeks ago. So let me share a short story with you, something that happened in my own life. I remember years ago, and I believe I've shared this story on air before, but I'll share it again. I used to play basketball. I used to play all types of sports before and after school, not necessarily organized all the time, but sometimes organized. And I did play organized basketball. I actually played for a league that was involved in a church that I was involved in, but the league was pretty good because you had a lot of players that would play high school ball, and then they would come and they would play for the church league. And it's kind of what they would do to get warmed up, I guess, for their regular season. So you could have some people that weren't so great, and you could have some people that were really great. There was a particular team. I was in Long Beach, California at the time, and there was a particular team that we could never beat. The team was Garden Grove. They were out of Garden Grove, California, and we could never beat them. Year after year after year, this rivalry existed, and we would give them a good run, but they would inevitably win the championship. Now, my older brothers had played against these teams. They were, same coach, but different players. And my brother's team, ironically, it was always back and forth. But my brother's team, they would end up beating them, but it would always be a very close game. And sometimes Garden Grove would win, and they would go back and forth. And so the same was true for us. We would go back and forth to some extent, but the Garden Grove team got to a point where they were just dominant. And we had some really great players, but they had more great players. And one of my buddies that I consider a brother from another mother, Mark Ortiz, he's a Mexican guy, but he was like the Mexican Steph Curry, if you will, back in the day. I mean, the guy had excellent ball handling skills. He could shoot the ball from anywhere on the court. I mean, literally back then, 3-pointers were nothing to him. He would just bust them out like it was no one's business. And we would sit there and it would always be, man, get on that guy. Do not leave him open. They had another guy by the name of Teddy. It was just a big guy. You know, we were small. I was, close to 6 foot, but you had this guy that was like 6'6". I mean, just dominating dominating the middle. And he was a big 6'6", not just tall. He was big, but he was the guy could move. He had ball dribbling skills and all that. They had this other guy, Jimmy Newsom. I mean, they had some really good, talented players that we would come against. And time after time after time, we would get close, but we would end up losing. And then we got a coach. One year we had a coach change. And I got to be honest with you, I didn't really like this coach. This coach wanted to change everything up. We were sitting there. We had some good players. We just thought if we attacked the boards more, we got better with our shooting. If we would just drive drive to the hole more, we could beat these guys. We could wear them out. We thought that there were some of us that had better talents than the other team. We were cocky and arrogant in that way. And you have to be in sports at times. You have to have confidence in yourself to be able to win games. That's essentially what it comes down to. So this coach comes in and he says, you guys haven't been able to beat these guys. So we're going to change things up. We're going to do things a little different. This coach started making us do squats and sitting on the wall for a long time till our legs burn. And then we would do layup drills. I mean, layup drills. I mean, incessantly. We did them for a period of time. With the prior coach. And all right, you want to look fancy, looking all good, trying to do your layups. I mean, he was strict. Listen, fundamentals. So we're going to do layup drills. We're going to get your legs strong. And then we're going to go through the free throw line. And we shot so many free throws. It was unreal. I mean, just free throw after free throw. I was a pretty good shooter. There was another guy on my team that was even better. This guy by the name of Brian Young, just excellent. He was equally as talented as the guy on the other team as far as ball handling and shooting. Just magnificent player. And there was a period of time where I kid you not, I'm not exaggerating. We got in a free throw contest where I think I ended up hitting. Oh man, it was some crazy number that I can't even believe to this day. But we got close to, I think we shot about 50 free throws, and I think I finally missed in the high 40s. And then Brian went on to win by making the next free throw or something like that. It was insane. I didn't even think I could do it, but it happened. And this was a big deal. And then he made us go to this zone defense. Man, I don't want to play zone defense. I want to show this fool on the other team that I can beat him. I could beat him mano a mano. I could get in front of him man to man. I could steal the ball. I could take it down the court. I was actually pretty good at that. And we could beat him this way. We just needed a little more intensity. Maybe another guy. No, he wanted to slow the game down. He wanted us to play zone defense, and he wanted us to slow the game down. See, we were playing by, we had these rules that we adopted, and all that we wanted to do was get better, and all that we wanted to do was dominate the team. But he said, wait a minute, guys, there's a system in place. If you abide by my system, then you can beat this team. And I didn't buy in. I didn't believe him. I didn't want to believe him. He got on my nerve. Everything that we had done in years past, he started changing up, just coming in and wrecking shop and making all of these new rules. And I'm like, man, what are you doing? It's kind of annoying. But obviously I want to play ball. So, I'm going to do it, but I'm going to grunt and I'm going to whine and I'm going to complain about it. I'm going to say some names behind his back, but I want to make sure he doesn't hear them so that I don't get benched. All of that good stuff, right? But guys, I got to tell you, we started game after game after game. Annoying as it was, we started developing this system. And we didn't always win, but we started getting closer. We would play the zone defense. We would shut them down. We would go out and put tons of pressure on the shooters. We would close in the middle. We wouldn't necessarily guard one-on-one. We would close up the lanes. We learned to adapt to close up the lanes. It was phenomenal. And then even though we had slowed the pace down, we were getting some of the breaks that we needed when we needed them. We were running this offense, taking our time, and we could see that the other team was finally getting a little bedazzled. They were getting a little frustrated because we were no longer playing the game that they expected we would play, because they knew that if we played the game that they were expecting us to play, they would beat us every time because we just didn't have enough talent to match their talent. But as we slowed the game down, as we listened to the coach, as we adapted rather to this new philosophy of slowing the game down and forcing them to play our game, lo and behold, we ended up winning the championship that year. The championship had eluded us for years because we were going mano a mano. But when we changed up the process, we finally won.